And welcome back again. Just a short break here. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OSC because we have returned with our first matchup of the night with a PV. Oh no! With a PvP gun. God damn it. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the German Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is ForJumy. And spawning, we have in the bottom right-hand corner, usually he's from the United Kingdom, usually he's a Zerg player, but today he's doing his best Polish Protoss impression. The red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eva. So, fun fact, before we started this series, before we started this best of 3, Eva did ask, can I switch between races mid-series? And I think he got his answer. So Eva is going to be race picking here in this best of 3 and switching between Protoss, Zerg, and maybe even Terran as well. I know Eva has been very fond of off-racing. You know, every now and then on stream he plays Zerg, but usually, you know, he picks his main race, which is Protoss, and that's what we have here. I'm shaking my head, Papi. I'm shaking. Este Eva. Ay. So, yeah, here we go. We are getting into this. So far, probes being sent out. We have a 2-gate opener here from Eva. Likewise, 2-gate opener from ForJumy. Now, I'll be honest. The only matches of Eva that I've seen where he plays Protoss, I think I saw Eva's Protoss versus Soul Spirit. It was a PvZ, and Eva got stomped. Eva, it was I think that's the only time I've casted Eva's Protoss. Maybe one more time after that, I can't quite recall. But the versus Soul Spirits series did leave an impression. So Eva has pleaded with me. He's told me, like, Papi, my Protoss is good. Well, I can play, Papi. I can let him play. I was like, okay. Whatever you say, whatever you say. Now, to be fair, there is an added benefit here. Oh, I say a benefit. You know, there is something going the way of Eva. I did mention before, ForJumy is sick at the moment. He was streaming yesterday, and he is down with COVID. After Home Story Cup, he did get unwell. So, because of that, you know, there's a little bit more here in favor of Eva, right? Like, maybe he can try to take advantage of that. Maybe he can try to pull one over on his opponents. We'll see. For now, we're just going to be scouting with our probes. Again, it was a 2-gate opener. We had a Stalker Sentry opener here from Eva. We had double Adept from ForJumy, so we have a little bit more aggression here from our blue Protoss player. Adept's going to be shading towards that mineral line, and we'll see if we can wall off in time. The cool cat has been thrown down, and the other Twitch emote. I don't know these Twitch vernaculars. The Shake comes in. Shake does come in. We're going to be able to wall off in time. We're going to be able to keep the Adepts out of the main base for the time being. Additional Stalkers are on the way. In a head-to-head fight, of course, Eva can shut them down. It's going to be on Eva to be on point here when it comes to his wall-offs, when it comes to denying entry of these Adepts. God, these goddamn zoomers in their emotes. So here we go. This time the Adepts barely don't make it in once again. Quick moves there out of Eva. Both players are going to be expanding. We do have a Hallucination Scout coming in, and we do get eyes on the Twilight Council. ForJumy going for a standard transition here, going into Blink Stalkers. Likewise, Eva throwing down its own Twilight Council as well. And we are going to commit. We commit to the shade. We take down one of the sentries. It looks like we recall out of there just as fast, and we will be losing one Adept. One Adept was for one sentry. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade at all here for ForJumy. He backs off from here, and he heads out across the map once again to continue to wreak havoc and to try to find some economic damage. But as I mentioned, Eva did have a faster Nexus. Meanwhile, ForJumy had the faster Blink. So there's going to be a slight window where ForJumy has Blink and Eva doesn't, but both players are kind of working in the same direction. Both players working towards Blink, towards those Stalkers. Meanwhile, ForJumy going to be chasing down the Adepts of his opponent as well. One Adept does go down. Nice moves are from ForJumy, committing to his aggression. Meanwhile, we do see Eva trying to get across the map with his own Adept, but one Adept doesn't really pose too much of a threat. Does take 2 Adepts to one-shot a worker. Stalkers, they have hit the field, and they're going for the Adepts of ForJumy, and they do catch one. One Adept goes down. The other 2 are going to be barely able to escape. We commit to the shade. We get into the mineral line. And can we get some drones? Can we get some probes? So far, we cannot. Clutch force field here from Eva. walling off his natural, and so far so good. Adepts, they are going to be able to shade the hell out of there. Meanwhile, across the map, ForJumy going straight for a third. A very fast third base here from our Protoss player, being a little bit greedy. At the same time, Eba does get into the main base. He gets a kill on one probe. He gets 2. 2.5. Not bad. Not bad, considering it was only 1 adept, but again, because this faster third base, ForJumy, he delayed his gateway explosion. He's focusing on his economy. We can see Eba is 1 step behind when it comes to his third base timing, but for the most part, we're kind of easing our way into the mid game. No major forms of aggression. We did have, of course, adepts harassing back and forth across the map, killing a couple of workers or a couple of sentries, a small couple of big ups, but nothing too major. Both players still just focusing on the mid game. As I say that, ForJumy is going to be active here, is going to be poking and prodding. I don't think he intends to commit, but he intends to pick off whatever units he can if he does find some available. As he does come across the Stalker army, he's aware now of the bases soon to be taken, or the third base is on the way. ForJumy just wants some confirmation as he does rotate around. Meanwhile, here at the natural, Adept shades in once again, going to be distracting Eba for a moment. One Stalker does respond. Third base is under fire. We're going to get a couple of volleys, decent force fields as well, but Blink is done. But a good concave as we almost catch a Stalker. So far, good control out of ForJumy. Good trades. Hasn't killed anything yet. He is going to be backing off. Does have some more force fields. He catches 1. Does get 1 Stalker. Loses a sentry though. Will lose another sentry as well. So far, the blinks are on point. Eba losing another Stalker. Trading 3 for 1. And things are getting a bit chaotic. Looks like ForJumy doesn't have enough. Ooh. Bleeding out another Stalker here in the retreats. Looking at the battle report here, it looks like ForJumy, well, both players did lose their sentries, that's true. ForJumy only got 3 Stalkers. Eba got 8, by the way. Oh my god. 8 Stalkers in favor of Eba. The better blinks, the better trades. Very nicely done. And with that, ForJumy is going to be backing up. Again, he has a slightly better economy. He's going straight for a 4th base as well to be able to maintain his losses. But again, losing 5 extra Stalkers like that, that is not insignificant. And you can see that Eba, he has taken a big supply lead. And I think this is also why he probably Eba wanted to play, was keen to play PvP here against ForJumy, is that if it comes down to micro, like just control here, Eba is a very fast player. He's a very fast player. He's a young boy, papi. So yeah, when it comes to that, if it comes down to just pure blink control, Eba, he may have the edge. I mean, what's the age disparity between these two? I know Eba, he's like one of the youngest players, but I know ForJumy is also like a bit of a zoomer. This is when I find out they're like 2 years apart. A little bit more than that. Okay. ForJumy, he's actually, I assumed that he was a teenager. He's 21. He's 21. Yeah, ForJumy, he's okay. He's getting there. But I remember when he was a teenager. It's been so long. Time goes by. They grow up so fast. But here we go. We do have ForJumy rotating towards the south, going for the gold even. The expansion pattern here of ForJumy, or just the aggressive nature of expansions, is insane. Here we go. We have Zealots into the main base, forcing a recall into the main. At the same time, the main army does dive on top of the 4th base. We're going to be forcing a cancel, containing Eba to 3 bases, while ForJumy is on 5. As the Stalker, they dive on forward. Eba getting caught out once again. Zealots from the right-hand side. We're getting us around. Stalker's going to be falling, and again, Eba's being pulled apart between his bases. Earlier, he did have a good start. He did have a good fight. But now, oh my god, he's going to be losing his 3rd. 2 bases go down. The armies do clash. And ForJumy, he's just taking a better fight. Again, this Zealot timing getting out of control. We get another massive warp into the main base as well. And suddenly, everything is on fire. That's 14 dead workers. We depowered the Twilight Council charge. It's not going to finish. We go straight for the Nexus as well. And ForJumy's like, mate, you may have been able to survive my first attack, but mate, let me show you wave 2. And then bam! Base is going to be falling left and right, forcing a base raid essentially. Eba's all in, pulling the boys. It's all or nothing for our red Protoss player. As we get across the map, we focus down the shield battery. And we're going to try to focus down the Nexus, but we can always recall. That's the problem. Looking to depower some of these gateways. Looking at the army here. We do have a pretty comparable Stalker count. Bear that in mind. ForJumy is up when it comes to Zealots. But Zealots, they may not be the most impactful unit here in this base trade. As Iwa, he's going to try to escape with some workers. Meanwhile, remember, ForJumy, he has the goal that we have cannons and shield batteries on the way. ForJumy more than ready for a base trade. Again, he is so far ahead when it comes to bases. Meanwhile, his main base is compromised. We just barely denied +2. So close to finishing yet so far. Meanwhile, Iba's losing everything. He may just die from elimination. The workers, they need to throw down some buildings. Iba does throw down the pylon here. Does get eyes on the 4th as well as the 3rd. The probes are going to help when it comes to DPS. Oh, Iba doesn't have charge. Remember that as well. As we have a pylon. Iba does have enough for a nexus. He needs to throw one down soon. Uh-oh. We're running out of buildings. Pylons are going to be falling. Iba still has this one pylon in the center. And there it is. There's the nexus. He'll be able to take down these bases. But again, Iba, he doesn't know that there's still a goal base and production being thrown down. ForJumy can warp in. Iba cannot. The pylon does fall. And here comes the army of ForJumy. Again, pretty similar army supplies. Iba doesn't have charge. Even upgrades though, and here we go. Charger's going to be pushing on forward here, closing the distance, getting on top of the army. We have the better concave as well. Iba wasting some DPS here on that building. So far, the blinks are okay, but again, pushing down into a concave like this, it's not going to work out. Oof, and Iba, he's bleeding out stalkers, and it's just too much. Too many losses here. Overcharges popped, and GG gets called for. Jimmy takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. ForJumy does take the first game. Things were getting a little bit chaotic, but ForJumy, he was in control of that base trade the entire time. He was, I mean, I don't think it even intended to be a base trade. Remember, he was just in every single, suddenly he was in every base. He was at the 3rd, the 4th, the main, and then pushing into the natural. It's crazy how ForJumy was able to just pop off on a dime. Was very impressive, and things escalated very quickly out of control. GG, and with that, ForJumy is up 1 game, and the question becomes, Iba, do we play Protoss again? You know, does he embrace his Polish Protoss heritage, or does he go back to the UK? Does he and does he go back to his tried and true Zerg gameplay? That is the question. That is the real question here from Iba. And oh, my apologies, I forgot. As I'm the lobby host. I was like waiting for the lobby. I was like, yeah, we need some time here, Pat. We need some time. No. Diving right in to game number 2, and here we go. Oh no. It looks like we are sticking to our guns here. Iba, he's committed. It's a PvP. Let's go. It is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss. Aye. All right. It's happening. Here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the German Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Little Fairy. Leading the series 1-0, it is ForJumy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as a opponent, we have the would-be Zerg player, but currently the red Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Iba. Here we go, and as we get into our series, as we get into game number 2, I want to give a special shout out to Kashim. Kashim Babi, el padrino of Polish StarCraft, not just Polish StarCraft, but of course Kashim being a big part of the StarCraft scene in general, behind the scenes, one of the unsung heroes of our community. He has donated $5 to the Matcherino. Thank you, Kashim. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Again, if you're interested, Matcherino in the chat. You can, of course, support not just this tournament, but you can support OSC and the end of year championship as a whole. So if you wish, you can do so there. Don't even have to spend your money. I think there are like some goals on the right hand side where you can like follow some Twitters or subscribe to YouTube channels for Alpha X or some other kind of quests that you can provide some extra money to the prize pool too. So yeah, can do so there. As for now, where are we going? It's going to be a 2-gate opener from EVA, 2-gate opener from ForJumy, but this probe is going towards the top right-hand corner of the map for a reason. We are looking to throw down a pylon. Not just any pylon, this is looking like a proxy Stargate. Here we go. Stargate is soon to be on the way. I imagine this wouldn't be a bad location for it, but we'll see. We'll see if EVA does something crazy like a proxy Twilight Council. As the Cybercore is still yet to finish, so we still have a little bit of time as the Cybercore just now finishes up. We have taken double gases. ForJumy does see that the pylon is missing, by the way. There should be 2 pylons in the main. There's only one. ForJumy, he's got his own pylon here next to his mineral line, and we should be seeing the tech of choice. EVA should be throwing down his tech in a couple of seconds once we have the gas for it. Oh, and there it is. There's the Stargate. So again, a good location for it. Now, this is not all in. Bear that in mind. This is not all in from EVA. It's a Stargate to get into oracles, to harass, to deal some economic damage, and to get ahead in the economy. It's a way to get ahead, not a way to, end the game. As we do have EVA back at home, just trying to take control of his own side of the map. Stalker's on the way. Oh, interesting, getting into a follow-up adept as well. Speaking of adepts, once again ForJumy opening up double adept. Threatening a dive into these bases. Stalkers have arrived. Ooh, and we are going to be able to be in position here. Get a bit of hull damage on those adepts to do wall off just in time. We saw ForJumy try to deny the wall off. Very cheeky. But the probe is going to get shut down. Counter adepts are on the way. Back at home, we have ForJumy going for an expansion followed by a robo. Very safe follow-up here. So basically, this robo follow-up is designed to defend against a one-base all-in. So if ForJumy, if he believes that his opponent is committing to an all-in and committing to a proxy gateway or, a one-base all-in of some kind, then ForJumy would be able to shut it down with early immortal production. As we can see, just the Oracle. Oracle's making its way across the map. EVA is expanding. This is spotted by ForJumy. He's now aware of what's going on. Shield battery is done in the main just in case it was an Oracle, and ForJumy already in position with those Stalkers, reading the situation so well. As soon as he saw that expansion, Oracle dips in, but again, ForJumy in position. At the same time, we have 2 adepts threatening the natural base, so it's a bit of a 1-2 punch here from EVA. He's hoping to find some damage here. Oracle goes in. Does focus down some of these workers. 2 probes go down. The adepts, they can shade in. They commit, and so many workers are going down. We get 4 kills. We almost get 5. Oh, just barely get a 5th. 5 probes to 2 adepts. Very nice damage here from EVA, and he has a second Oracle. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot workers. Even through a shield battery, we can kill some probes. Meanwhile, behind this, EVA getting to a Twilight Council, getting ready for Blink. Likewise, ForJumy working on his own Twilight Council for his own Blink timing as well. Oracles get 1 more probe, get 2 more probes. Get the hell out of there. Get nice pickles here from EVA. Gonna rotate here towards that natural. Looking for some more damage, potentially even the sentry. Blink starts up, and we can take a moment here to take stock. We do have EVA on, at this point, slightly ahead in workers, 32, up 1 probe compared to his opponent. Then did kill a lot of workers. All ForJumy's. Stalkers are moving out. The Prism, it's the Revelation! No! Revelation did catch the Prism. The Prism will fall as well. A big pickup here for EVA. Very nicely done. Again, the Prism was revealed, and ForJumy decided to commit anyway, not giving EVA enough respect. And EVA does punish ForJumy for pushing out. As the Oracles, they rotate back towards the natural. Oh. So far, getting a worker kill. Give 1 probe. Revelation does get eyes on the researching Twilight Council, the Robo, on all things Protoss. Oh. 3rd base hasn't spotted, so EVA, he's aware that there's no Dark Shrine, no hidden tech, nothing, no kind of curveball is on the way here from ForJumy. And EVA knows he just has to get into his own Blink Stalkers. And into his own 3rd. Now, we saw the last game where ForJumy was able to hit a crisp timing with charge and have a faster 4th, a faster 5th, just snowball out of control economically, and eventually able to surpass Eva. But we'll see if this time Eva can keep up. Again, a little bit more has been going Eva's way this game when it comes to killing workers as well as shutting down the Warp Prism. But doing well. But is it enough? Is it enough? So now we do have ForJumy pushing out. Warp Prism is on the way to reinforce, and ForJumy, he doesn't have to commit here, but he has the capacity to do so. Gonna be testing the waters, testing the defenses here of Eva. Behind this, working on +1 attack. Eva going straight into charge this time, not slowing down at all, not holding back. ForJumy committing to pure blink stalker. There it is, charge just now on the way. Looking at the army tab, we have an even stalker count. Couple of defensive stasis traps. We have the concave as well. And from here, Eva, he should be able to take a slightly better fight. Takes down a stalker. Far good moves, takes down a sentry as well. These stalkers are getting very low though. But again, the concave was in favor of Eva. He dives on top of the army. He knows he has momentum. And it looks like he can shut this down as well. He can go for the prism if he wants. He's focusing down some of the weakened stalkers. Very good control. Oh my god, and Eva completely shuts this down. ForJumy, for a second time this series, it happened in the first attack on Golden Ore, and now it's happening here on Oceanborn as well. Where he does overextend, he overcommits into a concave, into a player that had shield by recent support, stasis traps as well. And just like that, I'm afraid to look at the trade there. Ooh. Eva lost 8 stalkers. ForJumy lost 17. That is wild. 17 for 8. 2 for 1. Just over 2 for 1. Very nice control, very nice trade out of Eva. And now we're going for a massive counterattack. ForJumy's getting a 4th. He's probing. But alas, it's a numbers game, and his army just does not cut it. Not anymore. We have the overcharge. We can focus down the Immortal. The Immortal is barely gonna go. Barely doesn't go down. What? Up! The Immortal survives. What was that? 4 volleys? Oh my god, that was wild. But still, it's not enough. The Immortal did survive for quite some time, but GG gets called, and Eva will tie up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we will be getting ready for the ace match. We'll be getting ready for our next game here. And it is going to be, it's all going to come down to side Delta. And when it comes to that last game, really impressive play. Really impressive play there from Eva. Again, when it comes to blink control, when it comes to blink micro in a head-to-head fight, things can go the way of Eva. But not just that, ForJumy, again, just being a little bit overconfident. A very similar thing happened at the start of Game 1, remember, on Golden Ore, where ForJumy, we had a relatively even stalker count, but he committed to a fight at the 3rd base, and he did come out worse for wear. He didn't trade as well as he otherwise, as well as Eva, I should say. And the same thing happened here. And here we go. Now we're getting into game number 3. And spawning. Oh my god. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the German Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Little Fairy. It is ForJumy. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. I mean, the ex-Zerg player. Smooch. But now Protoss at this point. It is Eva. Eva. Esta Eva, baby. Ay, ay, ay. Shaking my head. Alas, we are here in the ace match. We are in a back and forth series here. We'll see. Can Eva take it? Can he take down ForJumy? with his off race. With his new main race. Let's go. I'm shaking my head. As we just see our probe moving out across. So again, looking for a bit of a scout. So far, everything's looking normal. We do have a 2-gate opener here from Eba, 2-gate opener from ForJumy as well. And when it comes to us settling into the ace match, I do hope that ForJumy again is a little bit more tempered with his movement, with his army engagements. It does feel like he's been looking at some of these fights and being like, you know what? Even if pushing up this ramp is not ideal, even if my opponent has a similar stalker count and has a defender's advantage, like I'm gonna do this anyway, because you know what? I'm a Protoss. And I'm up against what this fake Protoss play. I can take it. I can do it. And yeah, you know, sometimes we can misjudge some situations and misjudge a player, and yeah, we'll see if we calm things down a little bit more here for ForJumy. As for now, double Stalker against Stalker Sentry from Eba. Let's go. For the first time this series, ForJumy is not opening up double Adept for their first time. And I do think this is a wise choice. His Adepts haven't really found too much success. We haven't really been able to kill too many workers of Eba. So he's going to be calming things down here with some Stalkers for the time being instead. Meanwhile, Eba does have 2 workers on the map. He has one towards the south, one towards the north. Second pylon was thrown down in the main base. We're looking for the proxy here. ForJumy opting to go for the fake proxy pylon here towards the northern portion of the map. So Eba overreacting in a way. That's 3 probes. 3 probes on the map looking for proxies, trying to figure out what's going on, afraid of cheese, when really, again, it's a fake proxy pylon. So a nice little win here from ForJumy, forcing quite a bit of lost mining time, essentially, from Eba. As Eba, he's still scouring the map right now. He's still looking everywhere he can for any kind of proxy. Meanwhile, ForJumy is just happily expanding, taking his natural, eventually working towards his Twilight Council, I imagine. Likewise, Eba doing the same, going to be taking his natural expansion as well. Hallucination does come in for a scout, confirming the tech. It does get eyes on the Twilight Council, so now ForJumy knows, now Eba knows that ForJumy wasn't really committing to anything, as Sword Up say shade into the main. Oh my god. Just a bit of a lapse of judgment there from Eba. 2, 3 probes go down. And can we get a 4th? Oh, we barely cannot, but that was lost mining time. 3 worker kills. Nice moves here from ForJumy. ForJumy does take a worker lead. Again, not for much at all. And he's not done, because that is 2 more Adepts moving out. They are moving out once again. A beeline across the map. Eba going for his own Adept harass as well. We'll see if Eba can reciprocate. We'll see if ForJumy can find even more damage as he does shade in. This time though, Eba does react in time, does wall off. Does maintain his workers, and we'll see if ForJumy can do the same. But now again, ForJumy has almost a 10 worker lead. That's crazy. 9 worker lead here for ForJumy. Meanwhile, Adepts do end up going for that shade. Surrendering the main. Oh, we commit. Uh-oh. We got 1 probe and maybe a sentry. Oh, we just barely get the sentry as well. But not ideal here for Eba. Losing those Adepts. Meanwhile, ForJumy, he's not done. Still threatening those shades. He could even decide to go for the natural. Does commit to the shade. Does go to the natural. Good force fields, though. And looks like the Adepts of ForJumy also get shut down. Very nicely done here by Eba. Very nice force fields. Again, when it comes to unit control and spellcasters and all that, like Eba, he's doing well for himself. He's doing well. Is keeping up, if not surpassing, that of ForJumy. Hallucination comes in, and ooh, do we get eyes on the 3rd? We do not. A nice denial of the scouts from ForJumy. Eba, because of the unit placement, he's going for his own 3rd base regardless. But ForJumy's pushing out, and ooh, ForJumy, he's going to be denying that 3rd. does shut down the probe. It does contain Eba here to 2 bases. Eba's already behind economically. We dive on top of the army. We get 1. We trade 1 for 1 even. Whew. We're backing off. ForJumy killing 2 stalkers this time, having the better trade. We're getting the hell out of there. And again, ForJumy already has that worker lead, and soon that's going to just compound out of control here with his 3rd. Eba's committed. He throws down another 4th gateway. 3rd still in the way. When it comes to the unit count, pretty comparable stalker numbers between our players. Oh my god. Pretty comparable overall. Eba going to be hiding that probe as well, aware that he just doesn't have control of these bases, of these locations. Still just being contained, and that is ForJumy's win condition, by the way. The longer that Eba is stuck on 2 bases, the better it is for ForJumy. So he adds a better economy. +1 is on the way. Charge is on the way for ForJumy. And we blink into the main. We have high ground vision. We dive into the main base. Eba out of position. Pylon does go down. The Cyber Core is going to be going down as well. 1 more volley, and it does get picked up. Very nice moves here from our blue Protoss. Sniping the Cyber Core, denying any more of these stalkers. We do have a Dark Shrine on the way, a proxy Dark Shrine. But is this too little too late? A bit of a desperation move out of Eba when behind a Dark Shrine. And stalker counts now in favor of ForJumy. Going to be reinforcing, getting his 3rd base up and running. And we're going for a ninja. I mean, yeah, we have to go for a ninja base. I would have loved to have seen this a little bit earlier, though. That's the problem, because ForJumy snowballing out of control. He already has a massive army. Does have a massive army. Looking for a way into the main. You see Eba anticipating that. Meanwhile, it looks like we scout. No! We force a cancel on the ninja base and the Dark Shrine as well. ForJumy having the wherewithal to check to scout. Ay. Not like this. Yeah, Zealots are on the way. We're even scouting here towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map as well. ForJumy taking a 5th base at this point. And Eba still cannot break free. Not anymore. In these mirror matchups, you fall behind even a little bit. And it's so difficult to come back. Just because your opponent has the same tools. You know, they have the same units. Same everything. How do you bounce back? Here we go. We can see Eba trying to break free. Pushing into a concave. Forcing the fight from ForJumy, but here come those charge lots. ForJumy just waiting for his blinks to reset. He's got the Immortal. We do have a Dark Shrine and a Robotics Bay on the way. Prism getting across the map. Eba does have the shield battery, the overcharge, the high ground. You can take a bit of fight and hopefully try to go for some DTs across the map. But here we go. ForJumy pushes in. And we have the overcharge. It doesn't even matter. We focus down the shield battery. Stalkers of ForJumy just going ham. A disruptor is on the way, but it may just be too little too late. There are some DTs sprinkled in. Where's the detection? Well, stalkers are going down left and right for ForJumy. He's going to be cleaned up. Does depower that robo. And ForJumy is going to be losing everything here. He does trade, and here comes the reinforcements. But alas, no detection. Oh. As never mind, he does get on top of these stalkers. There's only 2 stalkers left for Eba. Only 2 stalkers. The DT is doing what they can, but more Zealots are trickling on in. As we barely don't get into the mineral line. Eba, he holds, but again, he's still down 20 workers. We have some Dark Templar across the map, though. Welding into the 3rd, welding into the main. There are cannons everywhere. No. There are cannons all over the place. ForJumy, he's ready for this. Cannons and shield batteries. We can maybe focus down some of the production, but an observer is on the way. Now, these Dark Templar, they do force ForJumy to turn back around for a moment. He's keeping his attention back at home, trying to deal with this. And Eva being as annoying as possible. Controlling each of these Dark Templar. Meanwhile, we have a disruptor. No! We had a disruptor. That's ForJumy. He's crashing on forward, focuses down the robo. GG gets called, and ForJumy will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. GG, well played. Congratulations to ForJumy here for advancing on and for shutting Iba down here. But it was a back and forth. And you know what? Shout out to Iba, because, you know, he may not have been playing his Zerg race, but despite that, did force the ace match. You know, he was able to force out a game 3 and brought ForJumy to the brink. So, GG, well played. Very well done. Very nice done here by Iba. But of course, ForJumy does advance on into those semifinals, where he's going to be waiting for the winner of Cristiano versus Rostock. Oh, another PvP. Oh, are we going to have nothing but PvPs? Oh no. Not like this, Mappy. Not like this. I missaid something. Oh god! But with that, we can take a look at the bracket, because I am concerned.